Hey guys, it's Carolyn. First I'm going to apologize for the lighting. I know my face is kind of dark. I would open those blinds back there, but if I do, it makes my entire room very, very hot. So I'm just using the light from this window, and I'm sorry. This is going to be part 2 of that really belated book haul that I'm having to refilm. And this is basically all of the Penguin Modern Classics and kind of miscellaneous books that I got from that haul. So yeah, let's get started. Okay. The first one is Hogfather by Terry Pratchett. I saw this BBC adaptation with Michelle Dockery, and it is really good. I love it. I haven't seen the whole thing yet. I'm kind of, well, my computer kind of glitched out, but I'm thinking about maybe reading this first and then watching the whole thing. But I want to wait and kind of read this around Christmas time. So, and I love this cover. It's so much better than the American one. Oh my gosh. It's awesome. Oh, and a little synopsis for you guys. It says, it's the night before Hogswatch, and it's too quiet. Where is the big jolly fat man? There are those who believe and those who don't, but either way it's not right to find death creeping down the chimneys and trying to say ho ho ho. Superstition makes things work in Discworld, and undermining it can have consequences, particularly on the last night of the year when the time is turning. Susan, the Gothic governess, has got to sort everything out by morning, otherwise there won't be a morning ever again. That sounds awesome. And next we have Paul Thoreau's The Great Railway Bazaar, and this is actually a piece of non-fiction travel writing, so I'm very excited about this. This says, The Great Railway Bazaar is Paul Thoreau's account of his epic journey by rail through Asia, filled with the evocative names of legendary train routes, the Direct Orient Express, the Khyber Pass Local, the Delhi Mall from Jaipur? I don't know, it's Jaipur. I don't know how to say that town, or place. Please don't yell at me for that, I'm sorry. The Golden Arrow to Kuala Lumpur, the Hakara Super Express to Kyoto, and the Trans-Siberian Express. It describes many of the places, cultures, sights, and sounds he experiences, and the fascinating people he meets. Here, he overhears snippets of a chat and occasional monologues, and is drawn into conversation with fellow passengers, from Molesworth, a British theatrical agent, to Sadik, a shabby Turkish tycoon, while avoiding the forceful approaches of pimps and drug dealers. This wonderfully entertaining travelogue pays loving tribute to the romantic joys of railways and train travel. And I know you guys probably don't know about me, but train travel is my favorite way to travel. I love trains. I think it's much more exciting than planes because A, you get to stay on the ground, and B, you just get to see so much more, like, out your window and stuff. I love it, so I'm very excited about this one. And then we have the other Paul Thoreau book that I got, The Old Patagonian Express. And it says, The Old Patagonian Express tells of Paul Thoreau's train journey down the length of North and South America. Beginning on Boston's subway, he depicts a voyage from icebound Massachusetts to the arid plateau of Argentina's most southerly tip, via pretty Central American towns and the ancient Inca city of Machu Picchu. Sweeping and shivering by turns as the temperature and altitude rise and plummet, he describes the people he encounters, thrown in with the tedious and unavoidable Mr. Thornberry in Lyman, or reading to the legendary blind writer Jorge Luis Borges in Buenos Aires. Witty, sharply observed, and beautifully written, this is a richly evocative account of traveling to the end of the line. Yay! And then we have one of my favorites, that I'm so excited about, Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak. And I have not read this, but what I mean by one of my favorites is I've seen the film, the 1965 one with Omar Sharif and Julie Christie, and it is brilliant. It's amazing. So that just made me want to read this for the longest time. But and I had my mother's edition, but I didn't want to read it because it was so banged up that I was afraid if I opened it, it was going to, like, disintegrate. So, not literally, but, you know, just fall apart. And also, I was very excited to get this edition because this is the Pever edition. And I think I also have this same edition for War and Peace and for Anna Karenina. So, yeah. It says, Dr. Zhivago is the epic novel of Russia in the throes of revolution and one of the greatest love stories ever told. Yuri Zhivago, physician and poet, wrestles with the new order and confronts the changes cruel experiences made in him and the anguish of being torn between the love of two women. It's amazing. So good. And I'm so excited to read it. And look at this cover. It's just so gorgeous. I love it. Okay. I need to stop gushing, but I guess that's the point of these, isn't it? Next, we have Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh. This, I did check out from the library a while ago, but I just never got around to it. And the weird thing is that was the movie edition, or whatever. It just had, like, the movie cover on it. But it was a lot thicker. Like, it was, like, twice this size. And I don't think this one is any, like, taller, so I don't know how that happened, but, oh well. But it says, the most nostalgic and reflective of Evelyn Waugh's novels, Brideshead Revisited looks back to the golden age before the Second World War. It tells the story of Charles Ryder's infatuation with the Marchmans and the rapidly disappearing world of privilege they inhabit. Enchanted first by Sebastian at Oxford, then by his doomed Catholic family, in particular his remote sister Julia, Charles comes finally to recognize his spiritual and social distance from them. That's, like, really depressing, but I'm still really excited about it. I really want to see the film with Matthew Goode and Emma Thompson, and I think it also has Ben Whishaw and Carey Mulligan in it, so that's exciting. Last of the Penguin Modern Classics is Richard Llewellyn's How Green Was My Valley. And this I got solely on the recommendation of Leslie over at Words of a Reader. She read this on her father's recommendation and just then told everyone to read it because of how good it was. And it's a coming-of-age story, and I like those, so I will read this to you. Okay, it says, growing up in a mining community in rural South Wales, Hugh Morgan is taught many harsh lessons, at the kitchen table, at chapel, and around the pithead. Looking back on the hardships of his early life, where difficult days are faced with courage, but the valleys swell with the beautiful sound of Welsh voices, it becomes clear that there is nowhere so green as the landscape of his own memory. That just sounds really good. Yeah, I'm very excited about this one. And then, last but not least, this was actually not in the original haul, but I got it in a different group recently, but just forgot to show it to you guys. It's Wildwood by Colin Malloy. Again, got this on Leslie's recommendation. Pretty much everyone who's read this really loves it, so kind of all of BookTube's recommendation, really, but specifically Leslie. And I just, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, because it's just so pretty. I love the illustrations, and I think Carson Ellis also illustrated the Mysterious Benedict Society. I could be wrong, but yeah. Anyway, read this one to you guys. It says, Prue McKeel's life is ordinary. That is, until her brother is abducted by a murder of crows and taken to the impassable wilderness, a dense, tangled forest on the edge of Portland. No one's ever gone in, or at least returned to tell of it. So begins an adventure that will take Prue and her friend Curtis deep into the impassable wilderness. Figures with the darkest intentions, and what begins as a rescue mission becomes something much greater as the two friends find themselves entwined in a struggle for the very freedom of this wilderness. A wilderness the locals call Wildwood. That sounds awesome. And I went to the library today and I found out that they have Under Wildwood, so that's cool because it means I don't have to pay for the sequel if I want to read it. So, yeah. Okay, so that's all for this particular haul, and I actually have 2 hauls coming up. I'm a little bit ashamed of myself, but not really for the second one because, or not really for, the one I'm getting ready to do, because that was a library haul, so it's yes, I'm kind of ashamed that I have more stuff to read, but at the same time it was free, so it's okay. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.